Welcome, Manchester United, forward thinking, but first. Yes, there we go. Another intro. Welcome. Good evening, everybody. Welcome, Chappie. Hope you are well. It is hot, and it is hotting up with Manchester United in a time that I didn't think that this was going to be possible. We've been waiting for signing news, for us potentially looking at people. We all sat there and thought, well, Gyökeres surely will be the answer. And it's moved completely different today. We've seen different news. We are looking at forwards. What is happening? I can't move like that too much. It is far too hot. Couple of hellos. Chappie, hope you are well. Bryan. Well, could Bryan know a couple of these players? And Lucas, massive hello to you, my friend. Massive hello. How are you feeling? Looks like Kudus is on his way out. But yes, it's been a good day for Manchester United. It's been a great day. It's not been a good day for me. It is too hot. As you can see, I'm already sweating, and I've been sat in front of you for a couple of minutes. We had a great show last night. If you haven't had a chance to watch it yet, make sure you look back. We had a couple of fantastic guests in Pete and in Wolfie. But tonight, we are forward thinking. Think what I did there. Forward thinking. Two players that I feel like, in the way that Manchester United are looking at trying to change the team, in the way that Manchester United have never been a team who have gone out there and got Premier League quality. Well, whoop, there it is. There it is. They are essentially looking at Premier League quality. Big shout out to Andy. Hope you are well. Well, this is the question. We'll go into that in a second. And Jordan says, I want Bryan in that shirt now. We all want Bryan in that shirt. But do you know something? Excuse me. I kind of feel like this is a nice change from us talking about Bryan. Bryan lives here. He's right there. Bryan lives here, but we have been sort of just waiting on this Bryan news for what feels like 3 or 4 weeks now. And we've kind of been dilly-dallying around the striker position. Now, the striker is a position for me that I feel is one of the most important for where we need to be next season. If you look at what we were discussing last night, looking at where the problem was and the weakness was with the team, I feel like this has been a long time coming. Now, is this a sign? It could be one or two things. The first one it could be that Manchester United are officially close to getting Bryan. Lord Bryan, Bryan Brigade, hashtag Bryan Brigade, let's get it done. And we're moving on to another player. Or it could mean something that Manchester United haven't been famed for the past couple of years. And that's fucking going for more than one player at once. There are so many reports coming out today, and what did I tell you? The closer we get to the 1st of July, the PSR restraints seem to stop, and bang, the players start getting linked. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, chat. And I'll get into your comments in a second. Two players I didn't really give much thought about was Watkins and was Toney. I was looking at Gyökeres. I was talking about Osherman. I wasn't looking what was right in front of me. I wasn't seeing what was right in front of me. It's like when you've been looking for the woman of your dreams all your life, and then bang, she's there right in front of you all along. That's a Netflix movie for you. But before we get into this, make sure if you are new that you like and subscribe. The journey on the way to 500 is well and truly getting underway, guys. We are doing so well. And it's all because of the support of the OGs. You OGs in the chat, honestly, like I said yesterday, you are here to stay. Simple. I did message a couple of you last night, actually. Jordan says, I want Bryan in that shirt. We all want Bryan in that shirt. Honestly, I can't wait. I'm not buying one until he comes. The second he comes, that is when I will go and purchase the Bryan shirt. Lucas says, don't like Kudus, but can't stand seeing him going to Spurs. Well, is it a case of them or Chelsea? I kind of feel like this whole London clubs scenario, Kudus has been linked with everybody down there. Everybody. I'm glad that we haven't been linked with him, to be honest, because I don't think he fits what we're trying to do. Jordan says, Rashford, Garnacho, Sancho, please leave, you selfish footballers. You greed over money, then play for the badge that we love. Jordan, never a truer word spoken. But I tell you what, I need to cough. Hang on 2 seconds. That's better. But anyway, look at this as well. Bryan is a red. Bryan is a red. Lucas says, United looking to take Brentford's old front line. Might as well try and Vissa. Well, do you know something? Stranger things has happened. Here she is, Queen Sophie. Hope you are well, Sophie, and thank you very much. Yes, make sure you are smashing the likes and you subscribe. So, with even Toney, let's look into the player here. Now, Manchester United are looking at people, I think, that fit into this system. A striker that is hungry, aggressive, can hold the ball up, can create, and more importantly, finish goals. Yeah, finish chances. That is what we've been looking for a long, long time. Now, when we look at even Toney in his record at the Premier League, and I thought he played more games, but then I didn't factor in the whole scandal that he was involved in. But he's actually got 47 goals and assists in 85 games. Now, that is decent. That's a decent return, considering Brentford have been sort of that mid-table team, sort of between 13th and maybe 7th. I mean, that's a good return. Now, of course, we know it is a bunch of penalties that he scores. But I think if we're all being serious here, rival fans included, whenever we've played against him, he has been a nuisance, an absolute nuisance. He absolutely backs himself. He's got no fear playing up top. And that is what I want in a Manchester United player. That is what I want in a Manchester United player. Represent. Now, there's a couple of things with this. We look at the fact he's played with Bryan. So there is that consistency there. There is that consistency. And there's also the other fact. I'm sweltering, by the way, guys. There is also the other factor coming into this. We all saw against Senegal, he was left on the bench very, very long time by Tuchel. I feel like if he wants to play at the World Cup, he's 29 years old, 30 in March. I feel like this is the move for him. Now, he's on 400 grand a week. Everybody who plays in Saudi is on stupid money. Everybody. I mean, they make Manchester United's wage bill look like a League Two club. They really do, the amount they pay. I think he'd take the pay cut, guys. I'm going to say this right now. I might be delirious because it's hot and I'm just not thinking straight, but I think he takes the pay cut and I think he comes back to England if he gets the chance. I'm absolutely buzzing with this link. Honestly, when I saw the link this morning, if you saw my TikTok, I ran out the office to do that TikTok. I was like, hallelujah, about time. We are linked with someone that could come and absolutely change up what we do. Now, what do you guys think? Because I can see here that Lucas says, don't think United should sign Toney personally, but you can try and convince me, Dan. Two words. Xerxes, Højlund. That's all I need to say. That's all I need to say. And as Andy says, Cunha, Bryan and Toney, that's a great forward line. I tell you what, I've got a couple of slides to show you in a minute. That makes it sound like a bit of a dozy one, doesn't it? It makes it sound like you're in a dodgy meeting. But I've got a couple of things I want to show you with that. Football videos. Hope you're well. If you are new, make sure you are subscribing to the channel, buddy. Rashford needs to stay at United. Sells Garnacho. He is selfish. He is not Cristiano Ronaldo. No to the first point. Yes to the second bit. Completely agree. Rashford's time's done. He had the final news from Villa today that they were not signing him. Worst kept secret ever. They don't want him. They don't want the money that comes with it. What did he get? 4 goals in 17 appearances. Injured at the end of the season. I kind of feel like if that was an audition to get yourself in the shop front window to move to another club, you failed it. It was like one of those dicey auditions on the X Factor, if anybody remembers. Jordan says Sancho will literally take that 200 grand a week, where all of us do a 9-to-5 job, and he said it's hard as a footballer. As if doctors, nurses, teachers, frontliners, etc. have it harder and paid a lot less. Completely agree. Completely agree. Do you know something? Tonight, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to make this a Sancho free zone. We're going to make it a Sancho free zone. I don't want to mention this guy. We don't want to talk about him. He's had far too much airtime from us here. Toney will be good for us if we can keep him out the bookies lot. Well, look, Andy, I'd like to think that maybe that's all behind him. I think he learned his lesson. That was a massive shock to the system. But this is what I talk about Manchester United. Instead of trying to look at players like Gyökeres, and by the way, Gyökeres will be looking at this news and he will be absolutely furious, because I feel like at the start of the transfer window, with us being linked to Gyökeres, there was always that Manchester United are waiting for Arsenal to make a decision. Well, if this is true, these two links with Toney and with Watkins, what we've done, what Manchester United have done is they've gone, you're not interested? Absolutely fine, Gyökeres. You wait for Arsenal. You wait and see if Arsenal decide to suddenly want you. Because if you don't go to Arsenal, I guarantee he'll probably end up in the Saudi League or it'll be a loan move to someone like Juventus or something like that. He has been twerking for Arsenal. By the looks of it, that gamble has absolutely failed miserably. And by the way, do not be surprised if it comes out in the next 24 hours. Remember these words, right? Do not be surprised if it comes out in the next 24 hours that Gyökeres really wants to play for Manchester United. Do not be surprised by that. The fact now that there's other strikers that we're being linked with, 2 strikers that I think would absolutely galvanise our front line, I feel like he'll be looking at that and going, bollocks. I've completely messed this up. So, yeah, let's hope. Amin Khan, hi there. Ivan Toney to United, credible news. It's coming from the Express. It's coming from a few Spanish reporters. I've jumped on it. I'm going to be honest with you. And Amin, as I like to say to everybody, before anybody says I'm not in the know, I don't know anything. I literally react to the news. That news that I saw today, for me, I felt was worthy enough to jump in there, both feet first, get myself wet, get myself all ready for a fucking striker. So, yeah, that's where we are with that. What else have we got here? We've got a fair few comments. Let's get through these. Jamie says, I would like Toney soon as Bryan deal is done. He's a good striker. Well, this is it. This is it, Jamie. We are now looking forwards. Excuse the pun. We are looking forwards. We have identified the fact that Bryan, I think, is done. I think it's pretty much done. I think we will have that come this week. 1st of July, like I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, I feel like the Bryan news is coming soon, which is why we're seeing us now linked with other players, why we're seeing ourselves linked with the next one in the installments that we needed to create this team and get it back to where it needs to be. Because, by the way, before I get through these comments, listen to this, right? A front three last season of Xerxes / Højlund, then you had Bruno, and who else was it? Garnacho, of course. How different and how much more frightening does a front three sound with a Cunha, a Bryan, and then either a Watkins or a Toney? You tell me in the chat. Tell me how much different that sounds. Carl, hope you are well. Another OG in the house. Cunha, Mateta, and Bryan. Amin. It's Bryan on this show, mate. It's Bryan. We won't get a Mateta. Honestly, I mean, I'd love to get Mateta, but the whole story about that, he's going to sign a new contract at Palace. I can't see him going anywhere else, bud. How about Kudos instead? Just put Cunha up top, please. Kudos to Spurs. Here we know. Lucas, my guy. The game's the game. The game's the game. And then also, I'll come on to that, Carl. You're completely right. I saw Watkins could be signed if Højlund left. We're in a situation with Højlund where I feel like this news is also being released now to maybe give him the heave-ho. Maybe his agent now will start thinking, well, they're looking at these strikers. Rasmus, I'm your agent. I love you. Hey, I love you, buddy. But you got to go. Because if they sign one of these 2 strikers, Xerxes is the sweetheart of Old Trafford at the moment. You ain't playing. And again, we talk about World Cup season coming. These players need to be playing to go and play in the greatest competition in the world, hence the World Cup. So there will be a lot of that on these players' minds. What have we got here from Jordan? I would like Watkins. As an Exeter fan and United fan, he would be perfect, pace, strong, and oh wait, he scores goals. You're correct. We will move on to Watkins shortly. Here he is. Look who it is. Look who it is. Look who it is. One of the OOGs. Moxie Shun, evening down in the Bryan Brigade. How to make my compulsory live chat cup of tea. What's that? How to make my... Oh, right. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Hope you are well. Chappie says, is Toney a red herring? Potentially. Potentially. There are 2 ways of looking at this. Like I said, this could either be Manchester United with the Gyökeres deal go, well, hang on a minute. We can go and we can absolutely entice other players. Or they could genuinely be looking at Toney and thinking, this guy will be an absolute machine up top for us. He will bully defenders. He will play. He's played in this system. He knows exactly what it is in the Premier League to be a striker. So I don't know. Toney, they're saying it could be as little as 30 million or as much as 40. The thing is with the Saudis, they don't care about what they recoup, do they? Let's be honest. I mean, look at John Duran. John Duran, for Christ's sake, you know, they signed him for that ridiculous money. He's now going out on loan to Fenerbahce. I am so glad, by the way, that we did not get linked to him. Gyökeres disrespected Man United. We want players who want to play for us. Cunha and Bryan. And Bryan, don't forget Bryan. Well, this is facts. This is facts. You know, we talk about players now wanting to play for this club and play for the badge. Again, Gyökeres was a player that unfortunately didn't. I honestly feel like Gyökeres has walked into the casino and put everything on red being Arsenal. I think he's put everything on red and he's lost. He's lost the gamble. It's me, Everest. Big up chat. Dan, would you consider a signing of Calvert-Lewin? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I remember like 6-7 years. Was it 6 years ago when he broke onto the scene? Everyone went, this kid is going to be mustard. He is going to be incredible. And unfortunately, injuries, loss of form, he's ended up being, I think, a hindrance to Everton fans. I actually feel like Everton fans are ecstatic that he's gone. I mean, what's he going to be famous for from his Everton days, other than the fashion shoots with who was it? Was it Tom Davis or was it Tom Davis? I think it was Tom Davis, and obviously that goal against Liverpool. Andy says, Gyökeres, I watched him in the Championship, and I'm not convinced about him. No, well, a lot of people. Do you know something, chat? Let me have a sip. Hang on, let me take a sip. That's so nice. I will say this about a few of you in the chat. I'll stand by this. A lot of you have said from day dot that you weren't convinced. A lot of you have said that, and that's what I love about this community. Jesus Christ, that's what I love about this community is you do stand firm with your theories, and a lot of you have said that. A lot of you have said that you didn't fancy him, so maybe the club listened. Jordan says Cunha 10, Bryan 14 squad numbers. Oh, do you know something? I know 10's there. I know 10 is there. But I would absolutely give Cunha 7. I don't even mind saying that. The 7 has been cursed for a long time. And I feel like Cunha is the type of player that would come in, put that number 7 on, and absolutely own that shit. Guys, as well, make sure you're getting the likes in. Make sure you're subscribing if you're new. And what have we got here from Jamie? Jamie says, I like Gyökeres, but I don't like how he's saying he won't go to Sporting, spitting his dummy out, but he done that himself, saying he wants Arsenal. Well, look, they've had to extend his holiday. Gyökeres has refused to go back to Sporting Lisbon. That was in the news this week. Do United want a player who has that in their locker? Was he absolutely done over by the club, or is this him showing his true colours? Manchester United for too long have been with these players, have had these players. We've still got 3 of them now who are refusing to budge. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we've dodged a bullet. And yeah, Gyökeres hasn't endeared himself to anyone on the way he's carrying on. Would definitely take Toney if the deal and wages were right. Watkins would also be a good option, to be fair. Before I come to you, Lucas, let's have a look at Watkins. Let's have a look. So, Laurie Whitwell, that is a very, very credible source, by the way. A very, very credible source. When Laurie Whitwell releases something, you tend to go, okay, there may be something in this. Now, he has said that there has... Guys, come on. You know it's there. You know it's always there. You know the notes are always there. He has said there has been contact between Manchester United and Villa via intermediaries to explore the deal. Now, it's worth mentioning with Ollie Watkins, he's played 223 games for Aston Villa. 129 goals and assists. That is a decent return, guys. That is a decent return. Look at this. I am sweltering. Are you lot as hot as me? I am absolutely sweltering tonight. But I don't care because I'm here for you guys. I'm always going to be here to make sure that hang on a minute. Oh, the wife's left me a towel. Look at that. Look at that. What a woman. What a woman, Mrs. Robinson, you are. What a woman. Yeah, this is the sort of form that we need to be linked with. This is the sort of players that Manchester United have to be going out there and looking at. So it's absolutely a positive. Now, let's go through some more of these comments. How much would Mateta be, says Lucas. How much would the Mateta be? Links earlier on the season say around 50 million. Surely you'd rather pay an extra 10, 20 and just sign Mateta instead. Always said Mateta is the one for United. I go back to what I say, though, before, Lucas. I feel like Mateta is absolutely in love with Crystal Palace. I feel like he doesn't... I don't think he is even entertaining a bid like going to Manchester United. And why would he? They've got a great manager, a really good, solid up-and-coming team. They could potentially miss out on a couple of players this season with Wharton being linked away, Eze being linked away, Gahey being linked away. But I think he stays for one more season. It's Me Everest says, I have a hunch that Gyökeres would do well here, but it depends a lot on the play style as well. Well, you don't score that many goals without being good enough to put it in the back of the net. You've got to put it in the back of the net regardless of who you're playing against, okay? Yes, we get it that Portugal is absolutely, so far down in the way of divisions, in the way of where you rank competitions in Europe, but he's still been putting them in. What's this? Temizgan Deliso says United. I want Osherman, Bryan, Emi Martinez, Edison, and Ndidi. Wesley Vinicius to United is better for next season. Plus, Jesus Christ, where's the money coming from? Have you got the bloody money? If you've got the money, go and call Sir Jim. Oh, Jesus Christ, what a signing list that is. Jordan says Ruben should not have allowed Rashford or Garnacho to enter Carrington, make them train at the Cliff Ground. Well, look, we're not back at pre-season till next Monday, a week today. Don't be surprised if you see the reports that they have been banished from the training ground. Don't be surprised. Do not. What have we got here? So true. Plenty of people on here ain't sure on Gyökeres. I said all along that I'm not fussed on signing him at all. And of course, look, you know the notebook comes out. See, the notebook is infamous. But you know, I got it from an insurer bloody place. But it's been fantastic. Jordan says Watkins at Exeter broke records in the 15, 16, 17. Yeah. Watkins scores goals, absolutely scores goals. And that's what we're looking for. Premier League experience and someone that knows what they're doing. And yes, Lucas, you are so right. It is boiling. It's Me Everest. How hot is it there? Because I'll tell you, over here at the moment, we are currently on, oh God, I can't even, do you know how sweaty my fingers are? I can't even unlock my screen on my phone. That is disgusting. 26 degrees. 26 degrees at 9:20 at night. This is ridiculous. And Carl says, one thing, it's better than the film. Or what? Oh, right. No. Come on. The Notebook is a great movie. I won't have anybody say it isn't. It's one of my favourite movies of all time. I'm not even joking. I've seen a couple of bits saying Man United have set a target of having the Bryan deal done by Friday. Carl, if we get that deal done by Friday, I tell you what, if that gets announced on Saturday, you all know that I have a day off on a Saturday because Mrs. Robinson doesn't have Love Island. If that guy comes and here we go on Saturday, you better believe I'm throwing the popcorn off the sofa, I'm turning the TV off, and I'm running up here to speak to you guys. No chance am I missing out on a here we go there. 27 degrees at 2:22. Oh, God, honestly. I mean, look at this. I'm drenched. This is what I do for you guys. That is actually sweat there. So I wanted to show you all a couple of things. 80% humidity, yikes. I wanted to show you all, right? So this here is how the squad is lining up. So as we've said a couple of times, Manchester United, for me, once we got Bryan done, which I'm putting it down as we got it done because I don't think we miss out on him now. I'm not picking my nose ring's sweaty. Once we got Bryan done, I said we needed 3 more signings. 3 more signings. We needed a striker, a central midfielder, and a goalkeeper. Now, what I'm going to do here is show you how interesting the teams line up, okay? And what I want you to do, I want you to have a look at these teams, and I absolutely want you to tell me where you think Manchester United finished with them. So the first one is with Toney. Look at that. Look at that as a team. Obviously, you'll see I've missed out a goalkeeper and a centre midfielder. What are your thoughts on that, chap? What are your thoughts on that? And I can do something different. And there's Watkins. Now, I'm telling you something now. And I am telling you that team is a scary. Obviously, we can't play with 9 men. I'm not that stupid. That team already, with that front three, with Bruno, with Dorgu, and with Diallo and Dorgu, will just do that. They will go up and down those wings. They're young, they're pacey, they've got the energy. That team, dare I say, oh, I can't believe I'm going to say this. That team, as a minimum, can challenge for Europa League at a minimum. I'll say it. I'll absolutely say it. If you get a decent goalkeeper, if we sign a new goalkeeper, which I've got a couple I want to talk to you about, and we sign a central midfielder like a Luiz, okay, or like an Edison from Atalanta, that team is transformative. That team, with the way that they play football, absolutely is just night and day from what we've watched last season. Christ almighty, last season, it was getting to a point where I remember us lining up against Newcastle with Eriksen and Casemiro in the same team. And I thought, this is where we are as a club. This is where we are as a club. It baffles me how bad we got. It honestly baffles me how bad we got. Let's go through some of these comments. Man United want you. Man United, what you want us, we want Bryan and Notebook too. I agree. Get Bryan in for pre-season is surely the aim. Moxie, that has to be. Moxie, I'm telling you now, I feel like that will be done long before pre-season. I think the weekend at the latest. Lucas says, excited for tomorrow, Dan, when the transfer window unofficially opens. I can't fucking wait. Honestly, the 1st of July. So my wife's birthday is in the middle of July, and I've always sort of looked at July like, oh, this is going to be an expensive month. I couldn't give a fuck. I want that 1st of July here now. I want it now, okay? Tomorrow morning, I feel like we are going to, I've said it before, guys, that transfer window is just going to go pop like a bottle of pop, and you are going to see signings everywhere. Mark my words. Jordan says, 5th Toney, 4th Watkins. I like that. Guys, and I like that because Moxie's done the same. So give me your predictions with Toney and with Watkins. This is interesting. Carl says top 6 is a minimum. So does Amin. Jamie says we need a goalkeeper more than centre mid. We have players to play next to Bruno. Yeah, I agree with that. And actually, I would go as far as saying after a striker is done, I think goalkeeper has to be next. So Jamie, 100% agree with that. Andy says, do you think we would have got all the players in by now if we'd have sold Bruno? Oh, God. Do you know something? Right. Okay. I've seen a lot of people talk about this. Should we have sold Bruno? And money-wise, absolutely. Money-wise, 100 million, abso-friggin-lutely. But if you look past the money and you look past that and you look at what this guy has done, I kind of feel like he deserves... I mean, how are we saying this about one of our most consistent players? But he deserves to have at least one season playing with Bryan, Cunha, a new striker, be it Watkins or Toney, and actually being in a system that looks like this could work. A lot of people are saying, well, if we sign these two and Bruno drops to midfield, he could really struggle. I don't think he could. I think this guy absolutely understands the narrative of what Amorim wants. He absolutely loves playing for Manchester United. This guy will adapt. I've got no concerns about that. Moxie says, so team 1, top 8, team 2, top 6. A lot of people, did I put? Yeah. Oh, so Watkins. A lot of people are going with the Watkins as the one that will that would be the one where we achieve more. Lucas. How could you say? Oh Christ, I'm so hot. Look at that, man. Look at that. You've heard of OnlyFans. This is Only Dan's. Look at the state of this, man. The post-match show on here after Cunha does his ACL 20 minutes in and against Arsenal on the opening day. I know you wouldn't wish it on any player, but I can tell you now, if something like that happens, Lucas, these tears, they will be real. I will bawl my eyes out. Jordan says, midnight, I bet you anything. Here we go, Bryan. I think it'll come soon. I genuinely do. I feel like they are literally just getting the fine tweaky bits done. It wouldn't surprise me if we get here we go within the next 48 hours. It actually wouldn't. Moxie agrees with Andy. Lucas says, with Toney 5th, with Watkins 4th, agreeing with Jordan. And then Andy goes on and says exactly the same. 5th Toney, 4th Watkins. I'm gonna go against the grain here, guys. I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm gonna say with Toney 6th, with Watkins 5th. I still feel like we could absolutely push. You've got to remember as well, 5th and 4th is Champions League. This team isn't ready to even a challenge for Champions League. The stones are set, okay? We are getting the right players in. We would have to have a phenomenal season, and we would have to have some help along the way from some teams dropping some points in some very crucial games. Let's not forget that Chelsea have strengthened, City have strengthened, Arsenal are strengthening, Liverpool have scarily strengthened. Okay, Newcastle, I still think will go out and do something. By the way, that's 5 or 6 teams straight away that Spurs. Nah, not Spurs. Excuse me. That's 5 or 6 teams straight away that you look at and you go, Are Manchester United ready to finish above these clubs? I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we're there yet. But 6th and potentially 5th, why not? Why not? You tell me, why not? And also that team with both of those strikers is good enough to win a cup competition as well. What do you think of Calvert-Lewin, says Carl? Nah, definitely not for me, mate. You'd be paying for a bloke who couldn't stay fit for more than 2 or 3 games a season. We've got 2 of them already. We've got Luke Shaw, and who else we got that couldn't stay fit? Who else have we got? There's plenty of them that can't stay fit. DeLitt can't stay fit. Jordan says, not United related. Trafford to Newcastle is a done deal, apparently. Is it? That's a stunning signing, that is. That's a good signing. I don't think they've overpaid for him either. We only have to concentrate on Premier League. That's an advantage. I agree, Andy. I still think we need to look at a cup there, you know. Still think we need to be looking. I still think we need to look at a cup. I think that has to be one of the priorities for certain. Carl says we need to remember we got some good results against other top 6 clubs last season. Carl, you make a fantastic point there. This was the problem last season. We'd go against the top 6 and we'd be fearless. We'd go for it. But then the lesser clubs, and we were one of the lesser clubs, we'd struggle. And do you know what that reason was? I'll tell you why that happened so regularly. It was because last season we were a small team in comparison. We got up for these big games. It was the David against Goliath. We were David and these clubs were Goliath. I mean, in what world could this ever have been allowed to happen? But that was where we were. We played against the big teams, kind of like other teams played against us. No fear, just went for it. Just absolutely went for it. Lucas says, with that team and a new keeper at least, do you believe you have a better starting 11 than Chelsea? Because I do. Chat, help me out with this. Help me out with this, because I'm not so certain we do. I'm not so certain we do. Jay Pedro, Gittins. I don't know. Enzo, Caicedo. The other thing is as well, you keep Reece James fit, man. That guy, if he stayed fit, would be unreal. Cucurella. Let it be known on this Manchester United fan channel, I cannot stand Cucurella. I cannot stand him. Moxie says, if we are challenging anywhere near top 5, I'd be overjoyed, to be honest. Really pissed off with the way they've been, the Dippers, or are going about their business, to be fair, could be scary. Liverpool dominate this league, I think, for the next 2 years minimum. Unless Liverpool go out there, unless City go out there and buy a couple more, unless Arsenal go out there and buy a world-class striker. If Arsenal buy a world-class striker, I think the dynamics of the Premier League will shift ever so slightly. Jordan says, Mason Mount can't stay fit, makes the gym... Jordan, that is a fucking class comment, that is. Can't stay fit, makes the gym look fitter. Would we consider loaning Mount out? No, I wouldn't, because our problem last season, we didn't have players to come off the bench. This season, we've got players that we can rotate. So I'd absolutely keep Mount. It's the inconsistency along with the inexperience last season. Amorim will hopefully get used to the league better this time. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. There is more now, I think. He is grounded within the Premier League. He knows what the Premier League's about. I still stand by the fact, I think Manchester United last season was a scouting trip for him with the players we had. He threw players in there and he was just assessing the shit out of them. He knew within the first 2 or 3 months which players were going to be gone by the end of the season or which ones we'd try and get rid of. So I fully expect it to be different this season. And look, I'll sit here and say it. I still want this guy to be given a chance. If we're 15th or 16th in the league by October, well, then it makes his job extremely hard. However, I genuinely feel like he has to get this right, and I feel like he has to be given the time to get this right. Carl says Chelsea's transfers seem very scattergun to me, almost like they're buying players for the sake of it. That's been Chelsea, though, hasn't it? I mean, the Mudryk deal will come back to haunt them forever. Arsenal, he wanted Arsenal. Chelsea went, oh, he must be mint. We'll go buy him. What's he doing now? Cry more. Lucas says, no one likes Cucurella. It's a shame he's been so effing good. It was just, for me, after Spain beat us in the Euros, and he's just doing that thing on the bus. Cucurella. I'm like, oh, will you piss off? Okay. Chat. Tell me what you think about this comment, because I've been thinking this myself. I'm glad you said this, Jamie. I've been thinking, will Gittins be another Sancho? That's a very good point, by the way. That's a very good point. Amorim needs to keep settled side. That's the thing for consistency. Andy, I'm starring that comment. You banged to rights there. We have to have a consistent side now, go out week in, week out, and start performing. Some of the best teams in Europe, you could name their starting 11, bang, like that. You could literally name it like that. That's not what we've been used to for a long time. And Moxie says, "I agree with you, Lucas. It's a close thing with the starting 11s. Okay, maybe I'm downplaying our team a bit." Liking a new badge and intro, by the way, you deserve credit for it. Do you know something, Lucas? I'm going to shamelessly tell you this now. I was sat here yesterday. I'd just spoken to Pete and I'd spoken to Wolfie. If you haven't watched the show, make sure you check it out. It is on the channel. Really good show with them. And I thought, oh, what an intro. What can I do in 5-10 minutes? And I managed to knock it up. It took me a couple of minutes. I will have a proper play and see if I can make it a little bit better. But no, thank you. I appreciate that, brother. Guys, by the way, make sure you're smashing the likes and subscribing. That road to 500 subscribers is officially on. It's officially on. I'm not crying. I promise. It's sweat. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you are watching this back, get your comments in about Toney and about Watkins. Let me know what you think. I always have a look at them. He shouldn't have finished so low, and also losing Spurs made him earn a lot of negative points. I agree with that. It's me, Everest. But at the same time, it was a shit season. The players were poor. I think, look, all the excuses are out the window for him now. He's getting the players hopefully he wants. It'll all be on him, won't it, this season? I'm so fucking thirsty, guys. Chat, let me know if my internet keeps dropping in or out, because I keep getting this little thing. I'm not even on Wi-Fi. I'm on the Ethernet, so I don't know why it keeps coming up with that. Jordan says we totally forgot about Diego Leon. What about him? I'll tell you what I don't want. I'll tell you what I don't want with Diego Leon, right? I don't want Manchester United tomorrow to try and come out and say, new signing, here we go, Diego Leon. We've known about this brother for 6 months. He isn't a new signing. He is someone that we have. Look, he's a player that I'm very excited to watch in pre-season, but he's also a player that has been on our books for a long time. So the club, and I did tweet this, they obviously didn't watch, but they absolutely can't try that. We're not here to watch them try and dress this up as a signing. I don't think he will be loaned out either, by the way, Carl. I'll do a video on Leon soon. What have we got here? Do I miss the old TikTok days where you'd have rival fans pop in and say United have finished then leave? Of course I do. Of course I do. The thing is, guys, I can do so much more on YouTube for you guys. I can have guests like I did last night. I can put things on the screen. I do miss the TikTok days, of course I do, but it's so much easier and simplistic doing it this way. And look, as I said before, we're building this community together. Each and every one of you are part of where we're going with this. There's plenty more fun things to come this season. I've got potentially some more guests coming on, some more faces that you might recognise before the end of the week. But yeah, there's plenty to do with this. Plenty to do with this. And yeah, you're right, Moxie Shun. They will absolutely do some sort of unveiling, though. I think Hamas should go out on loan for a season. I don't know if I can do this on here. I don't think I can. Okay, quick question. Who are you having? Who are you keeping, should I say, out of the two? Diego Leon or Harry Hamas? You can only keep one and you can loan the other. What are you doing with that? Jordan says, Bryan should just walk to Carrington if he wants to be a United player. Bloody long walk, though, Jordan, in this fucking heat. In this heat. Jesus Christ, I can feel heat coming off my head now. Look at this. Christ on a bicycle. How hot is this? It's ridiculous. I look like I'm crying. Carl says a mask. Carl says, okay, fair enough. I've dropped my pen. Look at that. That's so hot. I am slippery fingers. So a couple of more things I wanted to go through quickly, guys, because I'm not going to be able to last the hour tonight. I can't lie to you. I am sweltering. A couple of things I wanted to go through. Got to keep Hamas, get rid of Shaw. I respect this. Not saying I prefer TikTok down or anything. We just all enjoyed the chats with you in the community. No, honestly. Yeah, no, I didn't think you said that at all, Lucas. I definitely didn't take it from that, brother. No chance. I didn't take it like that. Don't worry. Yeah, this community, man, like I keep saying. But the one thing that I will say, so Manchester United players who are going to be coming in for their first pre-season session, They are going to be, I look shorter. They are going to be coming back to a £50 million upgrade in Carrington. So that is ready to go now. That is absolutely fantastic. We talk about getting things right behind the scenes. Well, that is one of the first things that they absolutely needed to do. Ronaldo, I hope you're happy. They listened, my guy. They sued and they listened. It wouldn't surprise me if he comes back and does the grand opening, to be fair. To get your team right, they need to have the right tools available to them. And I think Carrington being upgraded and doing what they're doing, which has been a long time coming, only spells positivity for the club. I think it'll, with the new features there, with the fact that these players can go in there, we've upgraded the shit out of everything. Ronaldo said that a lot of the stuff that was there when he was first was still there when he come back. So it was absolutely a massive thing that they had to do. I'm pleased with that, I must say. No, we've won from that one, Lucas. Leon needs to stay and get used to Manchester and the club. We saw Shaw, if he stays, who can play left wing back with Maz or Dallo. I've said this to you guys before. To be fair, that I'm sorry. I honestly feel like Shaw now will, if he stays, which I think he will, because no one's going to buy him. Shaw will become a left-sided centre back. I don't think we'll see Shaw play left wing back. On the odd occasion, maybe, but I genuinely don't see Shaw playing as left wing back. I think he will convert to the left-sided centre back. He's done that a few times for United. Let's not forget this. He has played there a few times, so he's got experience in doing that. I feel like it's a good idea. We're not going to start him at left wing back. He's too old. He's too injury prone. Yes, they have done, Chappie. It's all ready to go. It is all ready to go. Manchester United have spent the money on this, and yeah, look, bringing it forward. Jordan says, should we have a statue of CR7 outside of Old Trafford and Rooney? Yeah, well, of course we should. Look, of course we absolutely should. Them two are absolute legends of our lifetime. I mean, for you guys who are old enough, who are the same age as me, I'm 38. Some of you are slightly older, some of you older gentlemen, so it might be different for you, but my initial Manchester United legacy was watching Cantona, was watching McClare, was watching Mark Hughes, was watching Robson, Lee Sharp, and then it transitioned into Beckham, Giggs, Scholes, Keano, Cole, York, Neville brothers. Then it literally went, what's this? Has he just hit 45? Oh, I'll have to send him a message in a minute. And then we went to the Ronaldos, the Rooneys, the Tevez. I don't like saying Tevez, but he was incredible. The Carricks, the Nanis, people like this. We have seen these teams evolve and they've become legends. For the last 9-10 years, unfortunately, we haven't had that. Let's hope that this new crop of players is what what needed to become the new legends of Manchester United. Instead of trying to be the next Ronaldo, be the next Rooney, be the next fucking Diallo, be the next Mainu, be the next version of yourself that can go on and be a world beater, because that is what we need. We're sick of having wannabes. To be fair, Ineos, listen, the Glazers weren't going to improve Carrington. Absolutely factual there. And I agree. Yeah, the option's always going to be there, Moxie. Completely agree. David May said in an interview today, where the door is 20 players who don't want to play for the manager, lol. I'm going to tell you a funny story, but I don't know if I should tell you this because I don't know if I get in trouble with saying this. Who was the player? Clayton Blackmore. Some of the older boys will definitely remember Blackmore. So Clayton Blackmore, I went to watch United against Reading in the FA Cup, and we got upgraded tickets. My uncle got us box seats in the 1968 lounge. Incredible, by the way, absolutely incredible. And Clayton Blackmore was the legend doing the rounds. And it was just after Ollie had taken over. And you got to remember, we had some awful players back then. And he was going. So he started at the front of the table, all the tables sort of talking. And he said, got to get behind the lads. They're a good group of lads. We've got to back Ollie. This team can do something. And I watched him wander around. Guinness. And then he got to our table. We were on the last. And I looked at him and I said, Clayton, I said, come on then, what are your thoughts with the team? He went, they're all shit. They're all shit. I just love that. I absolutely love that. I love it when players, ex-players, instead of coming out and saying, Give them time. You know, we're Manchester United. Come out and call it out. That's why Keno's such a hero of mine. Keno just comes and says it. Heaven over shore, says Andy. An absolute massive well done to Dan Potts there. Do you know what? It's been a pleasure being a part of that man's stream. Been an absolute pleasure. Let's see if we can do him a quick voice note. Let's do a quick voice note for him. Let's see if we can find him. Where is he? Potsy. Potsy, happy birthday. Congratulations on 45k, mate. Just come up on my stream. Everyone here from Dan United community wishes you the best, mate. Well done. What a guy he is, mate. Lads and ladies. He's absolutely incredible, that bloke. 06, 09, 04, 12, CR7, and Rooney was unbelievable. Rooney's debut says it all, doesn't it? Rooney was always my favourite United player, just so effing good despite him scoring 2 halfway goals. Yeah, what was it? The one was against... Oh, Lucas, hear me out with this. I need to remember. Was the one against Adrian and the one against Joe Hart? Oh, was it Adrian? Answers on a postcard. I think it was Adrian for you lot. Moxie says CR7 Ballon d'Or winner, Rooney all-time leading scorer. Get the statues built for the new stadium. Yeah, 100%. Get them outside there, just like this, caressing you in. That Rooney, CR7, and Tevez up front was amazing. I think, honestly, you may have your thoughts about Carlos Tevez, but that front three that season, that was terrifying. That was deadly. That was absolutely deadly. Moxie, I don't think CR7 will get any statue because of his second half in the club. Your fan base is quite divided about it these days. Yeah, we are, but I think you have to look at what a player's done. Okay, I mean, Christ, when Keno left the club, they did their best to spin it that he was an absolute, abomination. People forget these things, and people look at what they did for the club. And Cristiano Ronaldo, my God, just felt blessed to watch that lad blossom into the player he was. Cristiano Ronaldo, man, absolutely incredible. To be fair, Everest, he left for Saudi, could dampen his chances. And Jordan says Rooney overhead kick was the best I've seen live. Yeah, absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. So the last thing I wanted to just touch on here with you guys and girls, you lovely people. We spoke at length. There we go. I was right. See, I know my football. Yeah, I know my football. Lucas, I went to school with Joe Hart. I sat next to Joe Hart in science. Not even joking. Second spell by CR7 wasn't down to him. He shouldn't. Andy, the other thing, though, was it completely ruined what Ollie was trying to do, didn't it? We had to sign him. We couldn't let him go. And yeah, this comment right here, absolutely right. Absolutely right. Now, to close the show, guys, we talked about a goalkeeper. Now, this might not be the news that people want to hear. And this might not be the goalkeeper news that you're all sitting there going, come on, and Dan, give me something. But we have been linked with a cheaper option. So the Botafogo goalkeeper, John Victor, I'm not saying his full name. I can't say it properly. 5.5 million release clause. Just been playing at the Club World Cup. 29 years old. Now, what they're saying is, could this be a cheap number 2 that could actually come in and do something and push Onana? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. And again, the notes always come back, guys. The notes always come back. His only European experience is playing on with Valladolid. I can't say that word. In the Segunda Division in the 23-24 season. Now, when we said about goalkeepers, ladies and gents, when we said that we needed a goalkeeper, that wasn't what I was thinking. I was thinking Emi Martinez, maybe Diogo Costa, maybe Chilavez. I was not thinking about a £5.5 million keeper. And I don't think that's the right move. I think if we're trying to penny pinch anywhere, goalkeeper, we can absolutely not do that. So just wanted to bring that to you guys, because sometimes I look at these news articles and I think, are they just cannon fodder? What else have we got here before I go? Jordan says, if Bryan comes to United, the best thing since Robbie Williams rejoined, take that. Jordan, you're showing yourself as a take that fan, and I am absolutely here for it. Absolutely love take that. And Darren Fletcher in talks to become the under-18 manager. Yeah, that's true. I think that would be a good signing. Keeping the players in building their coaching career with the club. Nothing wrong with that. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how I've lasted 50 minutes with you all, but I have. This towel is drenched. drenched. Tomorrow is, in fact, this goes to you, Jordan. It could be the greatest day of our lives. July the 1st, tomorrow. We are going to be here for this, okay? I am going to be literally scrolling second after second, minute after minute, hour after hour, looking at that transfer news. I honestly feel like tomorrow that bottle of pop goes poof, and I feel like the transfers are coming. And Jordan is saying it. Chat, give me a Bryan. Give me a Bryan brigade in the chat. Before we end this stream, let's get some positive Bryan vibes. Bryan vibes. I need Bryan in the chat. I need you to put Bryan in the chat. I need you to be here with me, guys. In fact, do you know something? I don't even care if I get trolled for this. I am putting it in the chat myself. It is there. It is there. It is there. Bryan Brigade, Bryan Army, Bryan. Night down, Bryan to sign this week. Come on, believe. Lucas, pleasure as always, my friend. Get those Bryan chats in there, people. We need plenty of faith with this because we have waited long enough. And now the time. If I end it on this, I'm going to end it on this small segment. Manchester United, Ineos, Sejim, Barada, Jason Wilcox, Ruben Amorim. Anybody at Manchester United, listen to these words. We have waited 3.5 weeks for Bryan. We have begged for Bryan. We need Bryan. We love Bryan. Hell, we even coined the Bryan Brigade. Get us Bryan. If you don't get us Bryan, then what the fuck are we doing here? We need Bryan. You need to bring in Bryan. Manchester United fans, I'll end it on that. Make sure you like and subscribe. The Bryan Brigade is in full flow. This week is the time. I'll see you all on the flip side. Dan United, Bryan Brigade. Ooh!